Today on the channel, we're back at it with the WWE Superstars Walmart exclusive Ravishing Rick Rude and the mighty Earthquake.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Superstars unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the Ravishing one, we got Rick Rude, and we've got the mighty Earthquake. But for all your modern day wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And you won't find these at Ringside, at least right now. You won't even find these at Walmart, and they are Walmart exclusives. Possibly the most frustrating wrestling figure line, maybe all action figure line of 2023 and even into 2022. A very frustrating line to collect. Mattel, I know, is pulling their hair out as well. A lot of that has to do with the distribution methods Walmart is using for these compared to other things in their store. I guess I'm not going to break down the whole distribution focus of how this is going, but Mattel has personally told me when I did visit with them, some of that will be changing if it hasn't already started to change as well. I know that firsthand from my day job, dealing with Walmart from time to time, what they're trying to do here, and it makes sense for a lot of things. Unfortunately, doesn't make a lot of sense for things like these. And I gotta give a shout out to my buddy Carlos, one of the greatest Masters of the Universe style, Origin style collectors going today. He reached out to me. He grabbed 2 extra of these on Walmart. Of course, we all know Walmart by now. He found 2 extras of these on there, or picked up 2 extras, and shipped them to me for cost. Gotta appreciate that, because I missed out on these multiple times at Walmart because of those pesky work meetings I had to be a part of. Never failed. They'd always drop when I was in the middle of a meeting. So very happy to have these now. So shout out to old Carlos there for helping me out. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And I guess we'll start off with the Ravishing one. Why not? We'll start off with Rick Rude, one of the Ultimate Warrior's all-time greatest opponents. There's no doubt about it. And Rick Rude, one of those guys, his career just ended so short. He didn't have a long career when you really sit and do the math and you check it off and you check it twice and you do the Scott Steiner math, things like that. But of course, he made his name for himself in the WWF. But my personal favorite era of Rick Rude was his WCW run. One of the most underrated main event runs, I think, of the 90s for sure. A lot of great matches over there. Absolutely loved Rick Rude with the Dangerous Alliance, of course. And then him segueing into ECW. Can you imagine if he was healthy? He was a natural fit for ECW. And some of my favorite Rick Rude memories were him announcing, kind of managing in ECW. Of course, he did jump over back to the WWE, WCW, back and forth. He was a member of DX and Generation X, as well, as we do know, and unfortunately did pass away. But definitely an underrated performer after all these years. And a lot of people know Rick Rude, but I'd still say he's very underrated as his total career. Long story short, there he is, Rick Rude right there, looking really, really good. You got him in the package. You got that beautiful background there, really speaking to the olden times. It's just a nice play on old-style packaging. Of course, these are kind of based off the Remcos. Just a good feel to these figures. Very nostalgic for somebody of my age, maybe your age, maybe younger. Just a nostalgic packaging. I do love this. And do these line up? We do know these packagings do usually line up. It looks like they line up this way. Yes, they do. So Earthquake goes here. As we know, if you put these all side by side, they will line up and complete kind of a big mural there. Always think that is pretty cool. I better put Earthquake back. But I always do love that there. Includes fabric robe with this one. Ravishing Rick Rude on the back. Keep the noise down. Simply Ravishing Rude Awakening. And you got Earthquake, Rick Rude in here. And of course, Macho Man The Rock. Macho Man Rock going to be in 2 sets. Those are going to be some heavy hitters there. We'll see. Will they ever hit traditional retail at a regular basis? Just a very frustrating line. I've actually had a few collectors that were collecting these that just said it wasn't worth the hassle anymore. They jumped out. Well, obviously, Mattel hates to hear that, and Walmart should hate to hear that as well. And that's truly voting with your wallet at the end of the day. But let's get the Ravishing one out of the package here. See what all the fuss is about. And there's always fuss when Rick Rude's involved. Simply Ravishing. See you later. Goodbye. Lost his nameplate. Bam! Spider-Man style. See you later. Oh, we're taped in with the extra accessories. But there he is. Old Rick Rude in the plastic prison. Very Origin-esque packaging, as we do know with these. Of course, we all know the Masters Universe Origins line, a favorite line here on the channel, and these fit right in there. A lot of crossover collectors as well to both of those lines, I think. I think that's a fair assessment at the end of the day. But I'm clipping Rick Rude out here. He's locked in at the legs, locked in at the feet. Nobody wants Rick Rude going anywhere. I'm going to cut these out as well. There it is. Almost time for some new scissors here at the table, I think. And we got all kinds of extra hands for Rick Rude. They're not messing around. See you later. Twist ties. Let me get those. Bam. See you later. Pop old Rick Rude out, and there it is. Bam. See you later once again. And the twist ties, they keep on coming. There's so many. My carpet, you wouldn't believe how many it swallows up of twist ties. You probably would if you watch the channel on a regular basis. But let's dive into old Rick Rude here. Let's see what's going on. Gosh, we're not even done. He's got a rubber band around his waist as well, so we got to cut that out. I do appreciate small details like that from Mattel. Keeping that robe all tight and in place with a rubber band there. That does work for me. That works for me. Very good. So there it is off to the side. Now we get down to the hands. We got 2 gripping hands on Rick Rude out of the package. And then, of course, Rick Rude, he's got fisting hands. And he's just going to fist somebody in the face. Hopefully that's the only place he's fisting. We leave that for Fisto. Fisto fists a generation of people. But we do get 1 fist right here. I love that. And then you do get a gripping hand here. Very, very cool because that's a dynamic I think more toy lines should have. A lot of times you get 2 fist or 2 gripping. Why not one or the other or one of each? That's what it should be, and that's what we got right here, so I do like that. And then we do got the hands I'll probably end up using on this Rick Rude figure. You got the open hands there. You can put it behind his head. You can do all of his gyrations, all of his moves, things like that if you need to. And then, like I say, he does have the gripping hands, the Mattel Elite style gripping hands on him here, looking really, really nice. But now we got to break down old Ravishing one, old Rick Rude. I guess, why don't we just pull this off of him right now? Let's get this, let's get out of it way. Let's get this jacket off him. It goes off very easily. A beautiful jacket, all in black. You got the sparkly dots on there, the sparkly trim around the collar, everything else. Then you got Simply Ravishing on the back. All day long, a good Rick Rude robe. No issues with this. Really do like this robe. Looking really, really nice. Put that off to the side. Now we're getting down to old Rick Rude himself. Looking simply ravishing, and just always thought Rick Rude, he was a skinny, kind of small guy, but a big guy at the same time. He always kind of reminded me of a sailor. That's kind of what he reminded me. I don't know why. He had kind of that sailor power where he'd always had that ripped up abdomen, but nice muscles going on, but not big like Hulk Hogan, for example. But definitely a big dude, and he's even more jacked up in this line, looking really, really big. He's got that 80s hairdo. It looks like he could be roadieing for Whitesnake or something like that. Who knows? And he's got quite the mustache, and he's got that smirk on his face. All day long, that's Ravishing Rick Rude. Looks just like him. I love they gave him the anchor tattoo. It's even a little crazy on the bicep with that big bicep, and I guess they did the best they could. But nice attention to detail to give him that famous anchor tattoo. And I guess that's probably why I think of him as a sailor, maybe. Who knows? But looking good right there. And like I said, the head sculpt, awesome on this one. Ooh, I don't know about these tights, though. I don't know. That back tights, the Ultimate Warrior on the back of the tights. Very cool. It's a tribute to Warrior at the end of the day. I guess I do like it, but I wasn't expecting that, or maybe I forgot about it. Maybe I didn't know about it. I'm not sure, but you got Warrior on the back of the tights looking good. Intercontinental title on the front. Looking nice there. You got the black knee pads. You got the very Bret Hart-esque boots on the bottom. It does say Simply Ravishing on both boots. I like that little attention to detail. Just very, very cool figure all around. Arms do go all the way around, side to side at the elbow, single joint at the elbow. Hands removable, hands side to side, of course. Head back force side to side. Waist articulation. Those big old Rick Rude splits. If he needs to jump over the guardrail to make out with some chick in the audience, he can do that. You get the side to side on the knees, single jointed knees, boot cut, ankles back forth, side to side. All the typical articulation we usually get with these Superstars figures. Just feeling good, and it feels really good in hand and all day long. This is Ravishing Rick Rude. I am here for this. I like this. Give me some more of this. That's what I'll say right there. Give me the short hair Rick Rude from his WCW run. I'd be game for that. But a very cool looking Rick Rude. The robe really puts this over the top for me. Just an all around really, really good figure. And that's what pretty much the Superstars line for the most part. It's all really, really good figures. They're just way too hard to get into our collections. That's the biggest gripe we have with them. But now let's move on to the man named John Tenta, one of the all-time legends, one of the greatest big men of all time, and a guy that seemingly never did age. Of course, both of these characters, wrestlers, performers, men, human beings, have both passed away since, of course, but Earthquake was like the same age his entire career, it looked like. So one of those guys, kind of like an Arn Anderson, always looked the same age. But of course, Earthquake, a threat from the get-go in the WWE. I'll never forget him crushing the Ultimate Warrior, and all payback. We know what that is, don't we, Earthquake? But of course, Earthquake, many memorable moments in the WWE. Feuding with Hulk Hogan, of course, turning Tugboat to the dark side, joining up as the Natural Disasters, and we'll bring Typhoon out as well later on in this very video. But this is a very interesting one, as this is a 2-in-1 Earthquake figure. Then we're going to have to buy 2 of these loose, of course. I'm going to have to order another one because you can display him in his tag team gear or his solo gear, which I think is really, really cool, and it forces a lot of collectors like me to buy 3 of these. 1 on card unpunched, 1 in the Earthquake persona, and 1 in the Natural Disaster persona. I think that is a very smart move on Mattel. They want all of our money. We always talk about it there, but looking good on the front. What's it say? Includes fabric singlet, and then we got a painted on one underneath, so very smart move there. On the back, the big cross sell. We got all that going on. Let's see what it says about our old friend Earthquake. I can feel the ground shuffling between my feet as I do this unboxing here. But it says, Natural Disasters, feel the quake, the ring is gonna shake, Earthquake splash. And Earthquake, Rick Rude, Macho Man, and The Rock once again. Looking all nice, looking good here. It does say 2022 on the back of the package, so take that for what it's worth, I guess. But we're gonna pull Earthquake out of the packaging here. There it goes. Beautiful packaging, like I keep saying. See you later. Goodbye to the mighty Earthquake. Plastic prison time. Earthquake looking good. I'm going to cut him out. And he's got all kinds of accessories in a little baggie there. And of course, he's locked in at the hands. He's locked in at the feet, just like we saw with Rick Rude. It is frustrating, but at the same time, it's nice because it does protect our figures, make sure they don't get kind of lost in the shuffle in the packaging and the shipping containers, things like that. But it is a little bit more work here at the table, as we do know. But we got it done. It's easy enough. Off to the side. Bam! See you later. Goodbye. Twist ties floating around. Let me get all these out here. Bam! See you later. And then we do get the bag of parts and pieces and things like that, we'll call it. But geez, always taped in here. These are always hard to get out of this accessory bag. And when I say hard, it's not that hard. It's just a little bit more time consuming, but got everything out there. Little plastic, bam, see you later, goodbye. And now we're going to get down to business. We're going to get down to business with Earthquake, and we'll start with the hands on Earthquake. He's got, just like Rick Rude, 2 gripping hands out of the package. We do get the big old splayed out hands, and the beautiful thing is this is a 2-in-1 Earthquake. As I said, you can make it as different as possible. Give one set of hands, give the other one a different set of hands. Make them feel as different as you possibly can. So we do get those hands. Then we do get the fisting hand and the gripping hand, the old He-Man thumbs up hand holding the sword hand. We do get that. And then we do get boots for Earthquake right here. This is very interesting. You get the blue Earthquake boots, of course, with the blue singlet underneath the Natural Disaster singlet. So that does look good. So you got to make sure you save those for sure. And then we dive into Earthquake. And the first thing I noticed on this Earthquake is when you put those blue boots on, you got to take, of course, the red knee pads off. And they do come off like a little Polly Pocket design. So usually the knee pads, you have to kind of fight to get them off. This one just clips in the back. So that is something different we haven't seen in the Superstars line. But definitely very, very cool. It makes these a little bit loose, though, but it's not. I'm not against it. I like the idea. I like what they did here. Talked about Rick Rude's tattoo over here. You got the big old tiger there. Wasn't it? Didn't he go to LSU? Wasn't he an LSU Tiger? So I think that's why he had that tiger tattoo. And I want to say when he became the Shark, he changed it over to a shark tattoo. That's living the gimmick, brother. That's looking good right there. So I do like that with Earthquake. But definitely articulation can be the exact same as Rick Rude, so we don't need to walk through all that articulation again. But definitely a very big figure. Of course, He-Man style bodies are usually more cut up, ripped, jacked, shredded. We know how that goes. Not him, not his partner Typhoon. A little bit bigger body mold here, which we're going to see with the Bam Bam Bigelows of the world and others in the future. So I like that they did that. They invested in the tooling for the new body size for some of these big guys. Earthquake all day long. You look at this head sculpt, I know it's Earthquake. He's even got a mad Earthquake face on him. Got that bald spot going on top there, looking really nice. The long hair. Definitely Earthquake all day. Once again, very cool. You get the Earthquake singlet on here. Matches kind of the Typhoon when you think Natural Disasters. Love that they have both of these guys in the soft goods singlet. And then, like I said, you remove the soft goods singlet. You got the Earthquake painted on for the solo run Earthquake. I like that attention to detail, making this a 2-in-1 figure. Very cool way to do it, because theoretically they could have just re-released him again, and then I would have had to buy 4 Earthquakes is what would have happened to me. But they could have just re-released him with a painted on singlet, made that a chase variant, done something like that. They chose not to. You can choose your own Earthquake adventure on your own this way, which I do appreciate as well for those that don't want multiple Earthquakes in their collection. But he does look really, really nice. I think between the two, most people will probably display this one to match Typhoon. It definitely looks good with the soft goods, but something about painted singlet underneath isn't bad either. And of course, if you're a longtime Earthquake fan, if you remember him in the blue singlet, you might want to display that as well. Now, does this Earthquake fit on a Mattel Ringside Collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% at Ringside Collectibles. What do you know? He fits perfectly on that stand. I knew he would. I knew he would. Might as well bring out his partner in crime, Uncle Fred, as Cody calls him. Uncle Fred, yes. Yeah, Cody. But very cool. Natural Disasters ride again here in action figure form. It's been a while since we've had the Natural Disasters. I want to say back to, was it a Walmart exclusive collection back in the Elite line like 8 years ago? What is time, as we always do say. Definitely due for a rerun. We've had Earthquake fairly recently. I would love to see the Legends line give us maybe Avalanche. Wasn't he Avalanche for a while, or am I dreaming that? The Shark, Avalanche, I think that's right. But I'd also like that iconic brown suit Earthquake. Remember when he wore that brown suit for a little bit? Give me a Golga as well from the oddities. There's still meat on the bone for old John Tenta. There's some stuff they could still do. Give us Sumo Warrior John Tenta. There's a lot of good John Tentas that we'd still like to see. And Typhoon, I'm not shocked, or I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't see Tugboat in the Superstars line eventually. We did just recently get him in the Mattel Retro line. I think that would be an easy slam dunk for the Superstars line. I would personally love to see that. So there's a lot of meat on the bone for these two. Rick Rude, not sure if we're going to see another Rick Rude anytime soon, but if what we got here is all we're going to get, I think they did a pretty good job capturing Rick Rude from back in the day. So there it is, Rick Rude, Earthquake, and Typhoon, because he came along for the ride. A very cool set. I hope everybody has a chance to get these. Hopefully they show up at Walmart. I know a lot of people had their orders canceled, things like that. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in the future. But still very cool. The Superstars line keeps chugging along. A lot of cool stuff to come, hopefully, and hopefully more to come into 2024 and beyond for this line, as I think it is resonating with a lot of people. They just can't find it is the problem. But there it is. What are your guys' thoughts? Picking these up, passing? Are you one of the ones that said, I'm done with this line? I voted with my wallet. I'm out. Well, let me know in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, as we got videos every single day and then some. And we also got a Patreon channel for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it. Check it out over on the old Patreon. And best of all, you do support the channel and all the content. You know, support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget to hit me up on social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Ravishing, Rick Rude, the Earthquake, and Typhoon, I'm Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.